to Real Talk with Shawn and Julie.
All right.
Today, our topic is setting boundaries, right?
Yes.
Or what is it? Setting boundaries, right?
Keeping your standards.
Keeping your standards,
And
yes.
setting
I'm
boundaries.
sorry. And setting boundaries. It goes all together.
Hand in hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Standards and setting boundaries.
Exactly.
Point blank.
Point blank.
So, yes. I don't know if you want to start us off, I don't know how you want this to flow, whatever. We're just flowing with it. We're just allowing the Holy Spirit to use us.
Right.
And whatever comes in our spirit, we share with you all.
Yeah, this is actually what we were talking about this morning, and we're like, wow, what a great topic. Maybe someone else might want to hear this or is dealing with this. Like we were talking about having a standard in life and protecting that standard by setting boundaries. You have to have boundaries in every relationship. You really do.
Right.
You can't just stoop down to someone else's level. If you're trying to reach a certain level right there,
right,
still be kind, still be generous.
Right.
But even if it's your one of your lifelong friends that you haven't seen in a while, and all of a sudden when you used to hang out with them, they used to drink, smoke, and still listening to the same things, like a bunch of swearing and a bunch of just nonsense. It's okay, don't judge them, because that was once you. But now that you have a standard and you reached another level of living, you can't look at them the same way. You can't if they can't respect the way you're living now, you can still be cool, but you can't be as close to them as you used to be, because now they might come by and they think they could just talk to you the same way they did 10 years ago, but you're not the same as 10 years ago.
Right.
You don't have the same mentality. You don't have the same standards as you used to. Your standards back in 10 years ago was way lower than it is now. You know, you're growing, and some people just don't want to grow. You can't constantly. You don't have to stay connected to someone who doesn't want to grow. You really don't.
Right.
Family or friends, you know.
Right.
You can still love them and stuff, but that's why you said you got to separate yourself. You know,
Right.
If they're not going the same direction you're going, it's how you doing, and I love you, and I really appreciate hearing from you, but after that, you know, you got to go back to doing what you were doing. You know?
Right.
Really do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We were actually covering this earlier. We was talking about standard and you know, making sure when it comes to your friends, what kind of friends you keep, and you know, boundaries as well.
Yeah,
you know, the boundaries, like making sure, like our marriage.
Right.
There's a standard to our marriage. There's the standards that we have in our marriage. There's boundaries that you cannot pass.
Right.
You know, there's no way. Like for instance, I when it comes to male friends, I don't have any, and I choose not to have any.
Right.
When it comes, it's a choice. When it comes to female friends, he don't have any,
I don't.
and he choose not to have any. And that's another thing that's boundaries, because if we know that we're gonna have male or female friends, we know. We have to guard ourselves with that. We have to protect ourselves, because we know someone gonna try to come in and kind of mess with this.
Right.
You know what I mean? The opposite sex. Because honestly, when I have friends, male friends, a lot of them don't want to be my friend. They really don't. They really want to have more of a relationship, or you know, they find some kind of liking in me, or they want more than friendship.
Right.
And you know, and that's kind of hard right there, because that would get into a marriage. Now, if I have a male friend that's like liking me and stuff like that, I mean, that's not gonna help my husband. He come around and all of a sudden this guy is like flirting, or you know, saying things to me that only my husband should be saying and doing as well.
Right.
You know, so it's boundaries, setting boundaries. We choose not to have the opposite sex.
Right.
That's just how it's been working for us for 9 years, and that's just, it may not work for everyone.
You don't have
and
to
I'm not
agree
saying
with
that
it,
you have to agree with this. This is everybody, and there's some marriage that can actually work the opposite sex. Like, you know, you have opposite sex, they actually work it out. They just actually know how to manage it and know what to say and not what to say, in the boundaries, know when to like not step over that. And some people, I give them applause for that. That's awesome. But I just know how we are. I just know how my husband is, his personality, how he is, his character. And there's certain things, you know, there's certain people that I can't really, you know what I'm saying, associate myself with, especially, I'm talking about men on this level now. I can't really associate myself with, because of the way they look at me, or the way they talk to me, or what they want from me more, or whatever, you know what I mean? So we have to put boundaries there, because I respect this man too much for me to have a male friend and they want to hang out and call me, and or just want to talk to me on the phone while my husband's in the room, or while my husband's at work, you know what I mean? I don't feel that's right at all. I don't feel right about that.
Yeah.
And other people may feel it differently, may feel the same, like, well, that doesn't bother, and that's cool, but that's what works for us.
Yeah, it's been working for 9 years.
9 years, 9
really
years.
Does. Like, even sometimes, like, even counselors and stuff like that, they're a man and they want to counsel the opposite sex. Well, you got to be careful, because she might get emotionally attached to you, and she start feeling a certain way towards you, and then you're feeling compassion for her, the things she's going through. And next thing you know, you guys are emotionally attached. And sometimes when you're emotionally attached, it's just as powerful as physically attached.
Oh yes,
So
yes. You don't have to have sex to be connected, to be close.
Right.
Like my husband said, that emotional attachment. Oh, he's saying exactly what I want him to say. Right. Or she touches me exactly how I want to be touched. Or she actually she's saying things that my husband or my wife never said before to me. Or he's saying that, or she's saying that. You know what I'm saying? They're just hitting a button. They're hitting things that your hubby or your wife's supposed to hit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're getting it from somebody else. So, of course, that emotional attachment, you locked in that. You're like, oh, I like that. I like what he's saying. That sounds good. So I want to hear more of that, because I'm not getting it from the house. I'm not getting it from my partner. I'm not getting it from my spouse. So you know, when you hear from somebody else, that's why this man always tell me how beautiful I am every day. He always tell me how much he loved me. He always tell me how beautiful I look, how curvaceous I look. You know, I'm just being real. This is real talk with Shawn Julie now.
Yeah.
And he lets me know that stuff. So when somebody come up and tell me that and say you're beautiful, it's not a conceited thing to say, oh, I know that. No, I do appreciate that. I say thank you. But I heard it from my husband before I even heard it from any other man.
Right.
I got it from this man right here. And that's my confidence. That's what make me feel, that's what gives me the security. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing it at home. I'm receiving it. I'm getting it at home. The things that you're not getting at home, you find it out there, somewhere out there. Somebody else going to give it to you. And that's why you need to set boundaries for your marriage. Boundaries, not for just for your marriage, but for relationship too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And you have to set it in every area of your life.
Especially finances. What do you think budgeting is? It's the boundaries on your spending.
Right.
It really
true.
is.
It's true.
If you have $1,000 and you buy something for $800, okay, you have $200 left. So, and you got to get groceries, you got to get gas, you got to pay like some other things. Well, you stepped across your boundary right there.
Right.
You know,
that's true.
Yeah.
I know some people that do that. They spend a whole lot of money on material things, clothes, purse, you know what I'm saying, cars, houses, all that stuff, but then you don't have no food in your house.
Right.
You don't have no food in your refrigerator.
Right.
Bills are not paid. It's piling up. Really?
You crossed your boundaries.
I just feel like, no, there's something off there. You know what I mean? Priority. You got to prioritize your life.
You didn't have a boundary.
Right. There's no boundaries. There's no budget.
Just
you know?
like in marriage, you got to budget your you know, if I didn't compliment her, she just put on brand new makeup and she's been fixing up herself, and I haven't been putting any deposits and telling her how beautiful she is and things like that. Well, I'm not doing nothing for myself. Pretty soon I'm gonna be in I'm not depositing nothing. I'm just making withdrawals. I'm withdrawing because she's not being happy.
That's good.
So how did I just put on all this beautiful makeup and my husband ain't saying nothing?
Right.
And the next thing I know, here comes a man from out of here and say, "Man, you're beautiful." And if she didn't hear it from me and she heard it from someone else, she's like, "Man, my husband don't think I'm beautiful." So
that's true. Because us women, we love when a man compliments us. We love when we feel beautiful and somebody could tell us we look beautiful. Especially when we spend hours on our faces, on our hair, on our outfit. I mean, come on. All that time you take, you want to hear somebody say, "Girl, you look beautiful. Girl, I love that outfit. Girl, that's some nice jewelry." You just want to hear that because the time that you took spending and decorating yourself, you're like, man, I know, you look good, but it's just hearing it from somebody else, it just takes it to another level. You just like, that confidence build up and you're like, yeah. It was that 2 hours was worth it. Right. That 2 hours that I spent in the closet, in the mirror and putting on my makeup and spending the closet trying to look for some clothes, it was worth it. Because I got a compliment, and that's exactly what I'm doing this for. Not just for somebody else's, approval or somebody, yourself too, but It feels good when you hear it from somebody else.
And that's when you want to step over the boundary. Say we don't have any we have a boundary of don't mess with the opposite sex and don't pay attention to the opposite sex a lot of times. But if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing at home, if I never give her any compliments, and I think to myself, oh, she knows I think she's beautiful, but I haven't said it in a month.
Right.
And here comes someone just out of the blue, and he's a man, he's a pretty good looking man, and he tells my wife how beautiful she is. Well, she might be tempted to cross the boundary that we just set because she's never getting that from me, you know. So
right, that is so true.
I'm telling you, when you don't do what you're supposed to do at home, she's got to stay strong and fight that temptation now. But it wasn't a temptation if I would have been doing my job.
But why put a person in a position like that?
Now it's
when you have a role to play. You have a job to do, you know? Every one of us. He has a role to play. I have a role to play.
Exactly.
Right.
And just like the bedroom, I'm sorry, we're going to talk about that. I don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing or being attracted to. I'm so attracted to her that I don't have to step across the boundary. Just wondered, what else is there to offer right there? Because my wife never dresses sexy. She never tries to, you know, please me in the bedroom or whatever like that. So I'm gonna go watch a video and go look at what I'm desiring. I don't have to look at what I desire because she fulfills my desires, you know, and I fulfill hers, you know.
Yes,
that's what you're trying to do in a marriage.
Right.
You have needs.
Exactly.
And there's boundaries.
Right.
The boundary is you're fulfilling each other's needs to the point where you don't have to go outside the marriage because you have a boundary. The boundary is we don't go outside the marriage for anything. But you better promise me if I don't step outside that boundary, I'm going to do my best to fulfill all your needs. You know, and even if I can't, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why.
We can take it in prayer too. That's where prayer comes in.
Yeah.
You know, my partner needs something, or my partner wants me to look like this, or not basically change look anyway, but she wants me to look more, more beautiful, put more into myself, because us women, as especially homemakers, mom that stays home, we do such hard work, and I give moms them so much props. They don't give enough credit for the things that they do, the time that they put into the day, and the kids and the family. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. We should definitely. I'm telling you, getting paid. It should be not just one a year. Mother's Day. That's degrading right there to me. Yeah. I feel like mothers should be praised to the utmost respect and the utmost praise, just because of things that we can do. Just amazing. It's a blessing to have a mom that just doing what she needs to do. Providing and taking care of the family, taking care of the kids and everything. But like I said, I'm sorry, I strolled off the topic there. But like I said, it's when you do all that stuff, at home, you tend sometimes you don't feel sexy, you don't feel beautiful, because it takes so much from you. Taking care of kids and doing the chores and everything that what mothers do at home. The errands that we have to run. Cooking and cleaning, taking care of the family and everything. We forget about ourselves, and we forget to invest time into ourselves and look beautiful for our man and look beautiful for even our children too. You know what I'm saying? So, and we lost that sometimes. We get so lost in taking care of everybody else, and we forget to do it for ourselves. I'm guilty of that because I've been there. I lost who I was in my family, because my family is my world. The world revolves around my family. I do anything for my family. And I just had to come to the conclusion, you know what? I have to start taking care of Julie. I have to start making myself look good. And I have to start living not just for me, for this man here. When he come home, I want to just go in the mirror and just dap your face a little bit and put on some makeup. It don't have to be a whole bunch of stuff. Put a little lip gloss on. It don't have to be lipstick, lip gloss, and fix your hair up and just put on some smelly stuff. Just smell good. Just, you know what I mean? Because, when he fell in love with you the first time, that's who he met. He didn't met no woman in pajamas and flip-flops and a scarf on your head and tie around your head, and you're just looking all a hot mess. You know what I mean? He didn't fall in love with that kind of woman. He fell in love with a beautiful, whatever you show at him in the beginning. You got to maintain that within the marriage. Nobody's saying you have to go look gorgeous and glamorous and all that stuff, but you got to keep up with yourself, for your man could be able to continue, chasing after you and desiring you, and you alone.
And two, women, don't put all that pressure on yourself to do that, because if a man is wanting
That's
that
good.
and
That's
doesn't
good.
and doesn't see what you're doing at home and still don't find you beautiful and like no
I like
makeup
that.
and no hair scarf on your head or whatever, pajamas.
Yes.
I find her sexy in her pajamas. I find her sexy when she don't put up makeup. I find her a beautiful, like, just, yeah.
He does, and he really does. He really does. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll edit that out right there. But yeah, that's what, yeah, we definitely that was a moment right there. That was an editing moment. But yeah, I was trying to kiss you and move it this way.
I promise I did not know he was trying to kiss me. I was so caught up in I just leave my head and he's like.
I went like this and you went back down. I was like, that was.
Anyways, you go edit. That's the part we're gonna edit. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, back to what you were saying. You don't have to put on
yeah.
flip flops. Yeah. Sorry.
So, man, you can't be so selfish. If you have a boundary of commitment in your marriage, regardless of how she looks or how she feels, you still don't go outside the marriage. I don't care. You wait until she's ready. If you have an issue, take it to God. You shouldn't have no issues. If you're married, I'm telling you, and you're doing everything that you need to do, the woman's going to want to do certain things for you. But if you're putting forth effort, you best believe she's going to put on some stuff for you if that's what you want.
Right.
Maybe you don't want nothing on, That's what I'm saying. I don't care what she wears. Her best outfit that I like is nothing. That's the outfit right there. So
that's real talk. That's real talk.
All natural. You don't have to wear nothing.
Right.
Just don't wear nothing. That's what turns me on. Like, for real. But
and he's real. He's being real.
I'm keeping it real. Yeah.
It's so true.
The boundary is in my mind is I will never look at another woman inappropriately. I'll never lust after another woman, and it's a mindset, and that's my commitment to her. That's the boundary that I put on my own mind. In a marriage, she has to have boundaries on her thoughts, and I have to have boundaries on my thoughts. Regardless of if any one of us gets tempted or slipped, it's still our responsibility to cast down those thoughts. It really is.
Exactly. Because we're human.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. There's going to be some thoughts in your head, Oh, man, I wish my husband had that kind of body.
Right.
Or I wish, or I wish my husband was like, could speak to me like that.
You see what happens, though? Like with me and her, we don't have the opposite sex as friends, and we don't watch certain things on, so we're not tempted to lust after certain things that she doesn't have.
Right.
I don't have to lust after those things because I don't allow myself to look at those things. Only thing I lust for is her body. I don't look at other women if they're wearing like. Even on shows and stuff, if they're wearing a bikini or they got all this cleavage right here, I don't look at that.
He really doesn't.
I really don't.
He just put his head down or he looked the opposite way. And ever since I met my husband, he's always been like that. He hasn't changed at all. And I'm like, I never had someone to have such a love and respect for me and my needs. You know what I'm saying? And how it's just beautiful. Right. And it's beautiful. And I always respect him for that. And I'm so grateful for that. Right. Because I've been in a relationship in my past where I have other dudes you're with them and they're looking at other females or they watching movies and they're just looking at women and they almost naked and they don't care. They're like, and they already compliment them and everything right in front of your face. I mean, how disrespectful is that? Right. And I'm sure a lot of ladies, you ladies can agree with me on that. It is very disrespectful. It's a turn off to us women because we just want their eyes to look on us. Yeah. We want them to see us as beautiful. We don't want them to see any other woman but us. Right. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. That's why I love and respect this man. He's truly he has such a pure heart, you know what I mean? And just such a respect for me and our marriage. And that's how I can give him whatever he wants. I give it to Shawn because he's worth it. Yeah. And the fact that he's shown me that I'm worth it by doing what he does. Right. So, I respect our marriage for that. So
for real though, why do you want a friend as a woman though? If you're a man, what type of what are you gonna do? Right. I mean,
what are you trying to get out of that?
I mean, for real, what are they gonna do? They don't watch. Okay, even if they watch football, they still come on, man. Just go get you some friends that are male. You don't need to have a bunch of girlfriends. Right. Why? You're a man. You don't hang out with girls. A lot of times, I'm not saying all men. A lot of times when you hang out with girls all the time, you're gonna catch feelings. You really are.
Right.
And then when you and your wife are having a spat or you're arguing or something like that, you go call one of your friends.
Right, that's true.
And you can't even contact your male friends.
Right.
The only one that wants to talk to you is the sensitive one in the whole bunch.
And the enemy will do that. The enemy will draw that friend to you, that same woman.
It's the
so
female
you can
friend.
you can turn to that person and get all of your whatever you need from that person.
Right. Because she's gonna tell you, this is how women act are and all.
Right.
I don't need you to tell me that. I don't want you to tell me. I want to learn that on my own.
Right.
I want to be able to understand her because you still don't understand her. She's a woman, but she's got her own unique personality. Right. I'm supposed to discover her needs myself. I don't need your advice on how to treat my wife.
Right.
I really don't. There's certain principles, all that, but take the principles. Right. But you still gotta learn yourself. Right. You gotta learn from experience.
It's like continue being students for each other. Continue learning, being open-minded to learn about each other. It's like going to college and learning, taking your education to another level. You know what I mean? The same thing with a marriage. Right. You know, I never want to stop learning him. I never want to stop knowing who Shawn is. Right. And, you know, as well as growing with him and all the changes that we go through and everything. It's beautiful, though, because it lets us know that regardless of what changes comes or what may occur in our life, we still have each other back. We're still there. We still treat each other with respect. We're still trying to work on this, you know, road and this process that we're going through. You know what I mean? Because marriage is a work. It's a hard work.
It is.
It is hard work.
And I'm kind of glad you said it's like learning each other is like a college degree. Because look, when you first get your college degree, the lowest level is the associate's degree. So at first you're just associating yourself with her. You're trying to learn her. I associate myself with her. I might take her out on a couple of dates or whatever like that. And then as you associate yourself more and more, it gets a little stronger. So then you drop the question, and now you're an eligible bachelor. That's the next degree, the bachelor's degree. So now you have to, you know, take the knowledge another level because you got your bachelor's degree now.
Exactly.
You know? But then after the bachelor's degree, it's a whole nother level.
Master that thing.
Now you're married. Yes. Now you got to master the marriage.
Master degree.
You got to understand her. It says deal with your wife with understanding. You knew her when you associated with her. You knew her in the marriage process. But now you've been married for a couple years. Now you have to master that marriage.
Right.
After your marriage, say we've been married for nine years now, so 10 years. I'm trying to pay my doctrine in the decade, married for a decade. Right. I want my doctrine in loving my wife. You know, that's the highest level of education.
Wow.
And then once you got your doctrine,
I'm ready to receive that doctrine. I'm ready to receive that doctrine.
So that's what you do. You never stop learning.
Right. Right. I love it.
Even when you got your doctrine, you increase what you already know.
Yeah.
I know certain things about her. I understand her, but that don't mean.
And
I knew your mother. But yeah.
Right.
Tyler Perry.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
And that's what you do.
That's so real.
Don't stop learning each other. Don't think you know everything about each other. You know.
Right.
Learn some new stuff.
And the more you learn about each other, it's just. You find this awesome, I just find this beautiful man, this awesome man, this new man on another level that I never experienced before. And I love that's one thing about God. When you touch your marriage and you pass that test, that other stage, and you go higher, you just see this other person that you never seen before. A better Shawn, a more loving Shawn, a more caring Shawn, more respectful Shawn, a more godly Shawn. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get a rewards for sticking through the hard times, all the struggles, all the trials, everything that you go through, and not quit and give up. And then when God elevates you and give you to another level, it's just you like, wow, who's this person I'm with? This is the exact man that I prayed about. This God give me my desire, you know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing about sticking through it with each other and not giving up, because eventually you're going to see that pearl. You're going to see that diamond. You're going to see that king. You're going to see that queen. You know what I mean? If you just stick through it and don't give up.
And that's the boundary. The boundary is I'll never give up on you.
Wow.
I got a standard. I got a standard was through thick and thin, through death to us part. That's the standard.
That's it.
And I will not break that standard. And anything that tries to come up with that standard, I got to set the boundaries. Just like we said, you ain't going to look at certain women. You ain't going to look at certain men. You ain't going to do things that you know for a fact your wife doesn't like. If you know she doesn't like it, why are you doing it? If you know he don't like that, why you Why are you tempting him to get upset at you?
Right.
You should do things that I know we're not perfect. You know,
Right.
we have off days or whatever.
We all
but
do,
if your
yes.
partner has an off day, here comes your boundary.
Right.
Your boundary is I won't flip out. I'll be patient with her.
Right.
I gotta set myself in my mind that regardless of what I'm gonna have to understand that she's going through something.
Right.
So I'm gonna set a boundary where I'm not gonna flip out on her. That's a boundary. I got a standard. I'm not gonna flip out.
And it's true, and there's rewards when you stick through it. There is really is rewards on the other side when you stick through it. Don't think that when you give up something, oh, I'm giving it up just to give it up. God sees that and He rewards you for it. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, like my husband said, we aren't perfect.
No.
I remember when we first got together, in the beginning of
yeah.
marriage, it was hell.
It was emotions.
It was emotions,
Everywhere.
feelings, mindset, everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
We was like just arguing with each other and throwing chip bag at each other. You get on my nerve.
Throwing a chip bag in a church.
Why are we going to church?
Yeah, it's in the parking lot of a church.
It's crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be our next topic next week when we talk to you guys.
What's our topic?
We're gonna continue going on about. I feel like we should continue this.
Oh, it's a continuation.
I think it's gonna be continuation because I'm feeling this topic right here.
Right.
I'm feeling this thing right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me.
Yes, awesome.
I hope you guys are feeling it too.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're gonna continue this next week on our video.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
So let's go ahead and end it here because we don't want to keep too much longer. So this is continuation.
It's continuation because we tell you a little bit more about our present marriage right now, what's going on, and next week we're gonna take you back to our past
and how we stepped over the boundaries.
Right.
Yeah.
How we stepped over the boundaries instead of having boundaries. We stepped over it.
Yeah.
And we had to work our way up to get to where we at.
Yeah.
So, all real.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is Real Talk with Shawn and Julie.
All right.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we can't wait to continue this topic next week when we see you guys.
Right.
You guys have an awesome day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.